We gotta catch this guy fast.
He's one of the worst serial killers in history.
Sherlock Wells, I'm here to get your killer.
Let's hope we're not too late to save his next victim.
Cisco.
Gridlock's dead?
How?
I'm not sure. I interviewed everyone that was there, and no one knows, but I did some digging.
What the hell is that?
Stay where you are! Freeze! Don't move!
Okay, so what are we looking for here?
Not looking. Listening.
That sounds like the guy who just attacked us.
Sounds like an insect.
Yeah, it does. Like a
cicada.
Who's Cicada?
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got new flash footage to break down. The title of the episode officially is The Death of Vibe, so everybody say a prayer for Cisco. But I think we all know what the writers are winking at from behind the camera. There's a new round of that Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. So we'll start with the Death of Vibe stuff. So you see that open hole in the ground with all of his Vibe gear crunched up. He gets stabbed in the back with that dagger that Cicada has been using. I think the whole idea is he's probably going to lose his powers. They foreshadowed that heavily during episode 2 because Cisco spent the entire episode not being able to use his powers because he was so emotionally attached to Gypsy. Like in a literal way, their vibes connected them across the multiverse. So he was just catatonic for most of the first couple of episodes because he couldn't deal with it. The Cecile stuff was also a bit of foreshadowing for that too, like she's losing her powers, Cicada's dagger sucked away all Barry's powers and he had to fight him just like a normal person would, so they're just getting you used to the idea that part of the season will be them dealing with that and learning how to take him down without always being able to use their powers. Like that's what Sherlock Wells is all about at the end of the trailer. Even though Sherlock Holmes seems like he has superpowers of deduction, he's just a totally normal person that's incredibly intelligent. So in the way that they're doing a little bit of Sherlock this season, you can also see why they're doing a lot of Barry CSI work, because all that goes hand in hand with investigating crimes, criminals, the things the Team Flash does, but they used to rely on their high-tech satellite for. So that's why they destroyed the satellite with a thinker. Just looking at the other footage here, obviously they want to make you think like Cicada is going to go after Joe. He is still sitting down in that frame. Remember, the joke is that he's been sitting down in almost every single scene that he's been in since the first half of the season. Maybe the actor hurt himself in real life, who knows? But the whole idea here is that he's probably going after someone that he senses is a meta. Maybe that's why his dagger is glowing. Maybe it acts as sort of a divining rod for him. He's supposed to be this regular blue-collar guy, so it's not like he has a lot of huge technology that helps him find other metas. The big thing here, though, is that Joe doesn't have superpowers, so why would he want to go after Joe? He's probably really there for Cecile, because she kind of has her powers, but because the title of the episode is The Death of Vibe, not The Death of Cecile, it sounds like they just want to make you think like they're going to go after her. You see Cisco's alarm go off. They have everybody LoJack with those panic buttons, especially the ones that don't have superpowers, in case some meta comes after them. So it might be one of those situations where Cicada initially comes after Joe and Cecile. Cisco and Barry rush to help, then they wind up in the fight out in the woods, and that becomes the big climax of the episode, because it does feel like a very Cisco-centric episode with a title like The Death of Vibe. Iris has that line of dialogue where she says, "worst killer in history," making it sound like Cicada has been around for much longer than we thought. The comic book version of Cicada claims that he got his powers when Wally was hit with the bolt of lightning. He appeared during the Wally West era, not during the Barry Allen era. So because he got his powers when Wally got hit with the bolt of lightning, he feels like it's his destiny to steal his powers and use them to resurrect his dead wife. But on the TV show, Cicada lost his daughter. I don't know if they're going to be doing any of that crazy resurrection stuff on the TV show, but what is the big lesson that The Flash has taught us about characters losing people that they love is that usually they just have to deal with it. Like, you can't go back and change things because you create Flashpoint. Nora is convinced that she can stop Barry from disappearing during that future crisis event that we keep seeing in the newspaper, but every single time something like this happens, usually the person that was dead does not come back, and the people that are left alive have to just learn to deal with it. So if you're confused why they're going so full Cicada this early in the season, usually they tease the villains out longer, the showrunner said that they're actually going to have 3 separate story arcs this season. Usually what that implies is that there are multiple villains and there'll be another villain in the next story arc. Then in the last 7 or 8 episodes, the real big villain of the season will surface and it'll be somebody a little bit different. So that just remains to be seen. They've got all this time travel that's going on with Nora. She's going to be around for most of the season, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of those other story arcs deal with stuff that's actually happening in her timeline in the future. Like right now, they have this fight with Cicada going on. It would be really cool to see how that affects what's going on in the future, so maybe we'll get a taste for that soon. They're teasing Caitlyn's father in the next couple of episodes. Maybe he or Icicle winds up being the villains of one of the next story arcs. But just keep that in mind, multiple story arcs, so multiple villains. Big theory time. In my wildest fantasies, everybody wonders what's going on with the Reverse Flash. So that lightning-shaped dagger absorbs Speed Force energy. In the comics, Reverse Flash has a lightning-shaped scepter. Wouldn't it be badass if whatever new version of the Reverse Flash comes back steals that lightning-shaped dagger and uses it to form his lightning scepter from the comics? The true purpose of the lightning-shaped scepter is actually really insidious too. If you haven't read it in a while, Flash Rebirth, the original one from back in 2009 when Barry Allen first came back, it shows up right at the beginning of that. Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash, breaks into Barry's lab at the Central City Police Department, kills the guards with a lightning-shaped scepter, then using it as a lightning rod, he recreates the accident that gives Barry Allen powers. But the big twist is that he rearranged the chemicals just a little bit differently and uses everything to create the negative Speed Force. So that's sort of the beginning of the negative Speed Force in the comics. And remember how Nora is wearing the Tachyon enhancer and Tachyons were really important when the Reverse Flash was around during season 1 to make himself faster? And inside the Flash Museum, she stole reverse Tachyons. So it just sounds like they're trying to wink at that from the comics. So just would be cool if they try to tie all these Easter eggs together. But obviously no confirmation. They haven't said anything about how they're going to use the Reverse Flash this season. The way they've been teasing these story arcs though, I wouldn't be surprised if they wait till a little bit later in the season to tease Reverse Flash out. Let me know in the comments though, who do you think is going to be the real big villain of the season if it's not going to be Cicada? I've got some new Spider-Man Far From Home footage to break down. That video we'll post in a little while, so no worries. Congratulations to the giveaway winner from my last big video, Nuigi12. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. Click here for my episode 2 video, and click here to learn when the Avengers 4 trailer is dropping and watch Tom Hiddleston talk all about the Loki character. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.